of ASEAN. Okay, we have the Prime Minister of Malaysia, the Chancellor of Myanmar, and we have here the Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, and then the Prime Minister of Cambodia, the Prime Minister of Singapore, the Prime Minister of uh, Myanmar, Cambodia, the Sultan, rather, the Sultan of Brunei Darussalam, okay? As well as the Prime Minister of Thailand, as well as the Prime Minister of Singapore. I know, the President, this is the President of Indonesia, okay? And so on. So you need to, we really need to promote understanding of this organization because we are a member of ASEAN, because we are one of the founding. When we talk of founding member, isa ta sa nagmugna, nagbuhat, or original country that created ASEAN. Okay? So this is just an overview of the discipline. Okay? Nganong na ay ASEAN. So the study of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations is in natural development and outcome that accompany the birth and evolution of ASEAN as an emergent regional and global identity. So anywhere in the world, you will encounter anywhere in the world they really know what is ASEAN. Okay? And then murag ulaw sa part sa mga Pilipino kung di ka kabalo mismo sa imuhang kapwa miyembro sa ASEAN. Okay? And as a discipline, ASEAN study seeks to provide accurate insights about the ASEAN in light of its individual and collective components. Okay? Individual, meaning, of course, again, every country have their own potential. Every country is independent. Okay? The Philippines cannot dictate Thailand what to do. The same is true with Myanmar. If you have observed in the recent developments in Myanmar, there is a coup or kudeta. Okay? There is a military takeover in Myanmar. But what did the Philippines do or comment? The Philippines cannot do anything about the coup in Myanmar because that is an internal, when we talk of internal issue or problem, ilahara na. Dili ta pwede manghilabot. That is one of the principles of ASEAN. If there is an internal issue or problem, inyuha na. Dili pwede mag-apil-apilang uban. Okay? So yun na siya. Dynamics and development and its distinguishing features from other identities. So another one, it aspires to accurately deliver an in-depth knowledge and understanding of ASEAN and its evolution. So basically, we will, part of your readings later on is you will study the history, why these 10 member countries able to establish what are the goals of these countries. Ano nag-establish sila ng regional organization. And what are the benefits nga itong makuha ani when we became a member. Okay? And of course, what are the risks? Okay? Kaya naman na siya ay opportunities at the same time risks nga mahatag if we join in any organization. So, inana siya. So, in terms of the course outcome, kani, tulo. Tungod kay, I just limit since we are not having a face-to-face class and we were told to limit our outcomes on the most important outcome, essential nga mga outcome na dapat ninyong mahibalaan. Okay? So that is why na lang tayo tulo. First is to trace the development of ASEAN as a regional institution. So when we talk of tracing the development, of course, we go back to the history, the historical evolution of the organization. Kinsa nga mga nasa na nag-start, kung sa lang goal, kano sa sila na they became a member of the organization, etc. That is why, if you look at this picture in your right side, nakita niyo mo dara, Thailand became a member of ASEAN on August 8, 1967. The same is true with the five original members because the five original members, these are Thailand, Singapore, Philippines, Indonesia, and Malaysia. They are the original or the founding states or members of ASEAN. So that's why every August 8th we celebrate the ASEAN Day because that's the start of the constitution. Okay? Pagka-constitute sa ASEAN as an organization. And then later on, Brunei Darussalam became a member in 1984. This in Vietnam in 1995, and Laos, People's Democratic Republic in 1997, as well as Myanmar also in 1997. And the latest member of ASEAN is Cambodia in 1998. So since Cambodia became a member in 1998, no other countries that added to to this regional bloc. Okay? But of course, as what I've said earlier, Papua New Guinea as well as East Timor already signified their willingness to be a member of this ASEAN organization. So another course outcome is manifest ASEAN community consciousness, awareness of ASEAN regional identity. That's why later on, one of your requirement is to really memorize, make a video of yourself singing the ASEAN hymn. If you observe every katong napay face-to-face nga flag ceremony, part of the flag ceremony in any organization is the ASEAN hymn because that is part of our drive to have regional awareness. Okay, that's so aside from our national hymn, our pambansang awit, we also sing the ASEAN or our regional hymn. Dili lang ang Pilipinas ang kakanta na anywhere in the 10 member states of ASEAN, they're required. That is part of regional identity or awareness. Okay? And then and finally, assess the contemporary issues and challenges in ASEAN regional bloc. So, of course, what is the contemporary issues that the organization is facing as of this moment is basically number one, the pandemic. What are the issues and challenges brought about by the pandemic in the organization? Like for example, supposedly, based on the declaration of ASEAN, that they will help each country. Okay? However, based on the reports, Philippines as well as Indonesia, they are the leading countries in terms of the number of cases of COVID-19. Okay, but pinakanindot, according to this study conducted and that was reported in the mainstream media, that Singapore as well as Malaysia, has a very good contingency plan according to the survey in fighting COVID-19. But the Philippines is on the bottom. Okay, the Philippine government, according to the survey daw, ang pinakalausing response sa pandemic. Okay? But of course, like for example, Laos, kaning mga countries sa Laos, Cambodia, although not undermining their capacity, but they were able um, to mitigate the spread of coronavirus in their country. But of course, look at their population, look at their basically their population. One third or one fourth na sila sa population sa Pilipinas. Okay, so inana siya. Look at also Indonesia. Why is it that there are so many cases in Indonesia? Because Indonesia is the largest country, a Muslim country in the world. Look at their population. Katuluhon ang population sa Pilipinas. Okay, the Philippines, if the Philippines have 100 million in 2020, ang Indonesia is more than 300, okay, 300 million. So it is because dako pud ang ilahang population. And look at Singapore. Pila ra na ka million ang mga Singaporeans, okay? Maong gamay ra pud yun ang ilahang cases. Now, so inana, these are just few contemporary issues and challenges that our ASEAN is facing right now, and many more. Okay? Like for example, terrorism, migrant workers, the rise of terrorism, because not only in the Philippines that we have this problem, okay, including Malaysia and our neighboring countries, Indonesia, etc. And of course, the case of Myanmar, the Rohingyas. If you've observed, if you are very much aware in Myanmar, they have this what we call as ethnic cleansing. They have this ethnic minority. They call it Rohingyans, who are
Ilahang kuya
most
Shopee. Amo ang kwarta. Sa kwarta pet ko gata.
mute sa
1 pool.
sa maning istorya.
Ako na itong tawagan mo ron.
Rexel, sir.
Rexel, i-mute sa. Hindi na ng 1/4. Okay. So, inanak siya. So, basically, katong tulo ka course outcome, we will have, kumbaga, 3 parts of our discussion for the entire semester. So first, unpacking ASEAN. When we talk of unpacking ASEAN, we will discuss the history of ASEAN, the charter and the organization, and then the theoretical perspective on ASEAN integration. And then in terms of second, comparative, okay? Comparative analysis of ASEAN member states. Okay, na may napulo ka nasod sa ASEAN, of course, we will somehow compare the uniqueness of every country. Of course, we cannot, although we belong to the same region, we belong to the same race, there are several and many aspects na galay-lahi ta. So that is why in terms of macro level, in terms of religion, of course, Catholic dominant ang Pilipinas, but when you go to Thailand, Buddhism. Okay? When you go to Cambodia, Buddhism sila dito. Then when you go to Malaysia, Malaysia is in somehow melting pot of religion. Nadara ang Hinduism, nadara ang Islam in Malaysia, as well as Buddhism. But in Indonesia, this is an Indonesia as well as Brunei Darussalam, grabe sila ka strict in terms of Islamic faith. Okay, mao may majority sa ilaha, especially in Indonesia as well as in Brunei Darussalam. Okay, mga Muslim dominant na mga countries ni sila. And by religion itself, every country in ASEAN bloc is unique. Okay, kana lang. And then finally, contemporary issues and challenges, na diri ang mga individual issues among ASEAN states, as well as the risks and opportunities of ASEAN integration. Okay, kana siya. So now I will stop sharing and then I will go back to the syllabus. Okay pa mo? Angie? Okay ra?
Okay pa. Okay ra kaayo.
Okay ra kayo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I will share the grading system as well as the policies. Just wait. Okay. Makita, Angie?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in your course syllabus, makita ninyo dere ang grading system, no? So I hope you already understood the changes in our grading system. We started the implementation of our new grading system since last semester, because of course we cannot adapt the old grading system because of the pandemic. There is no face-to-face. We cannot give a written examination inside the classroom, in the four walls of the classroom. So we need to adjust, we need to adopt a new grading system. So this is now the new grading system. The same 60-40 40% for your major exam, but major examinations, but that 40% now, supposedly before, that composes your midterm and your final term examinations, 40% of your grade. But today, 40% that will comprise your major output. There is no midterm exam, but only major output corresponding to the terminal course outcome of this subject. And then the remaining 60% that is your class standing. All modules or tawagan yes, mga modules and requirements nga makita ninyo dito later on, that of which you will submit that in our Google Classroom, that is part of the 60% class standing, and that is your graded modular or online activities and outputs corresponding to the enabling course outcome. Okay? So, inana siya pag-rate sa inyo. As I will stop sharing. I observe, based on experience in the previous semester, many students are very complacent sa pag-submit sa mga requirements. Ang pabaya ba? Is it because of the no deadline policy? What do you think, Angie?
Sir?
What do you think? What's the reason nga nung pabaya ang estudyante in terms of beating the deadline of submission of your requirements?
Kuan, sir, sa akong na-observe, daghan og trabaho pag naa sa balay, tapos daghan og bother bit. Tapos ang uban pod kay galaag lang ga Facebook. Nang walay time.
Walay time. Galaag lang ga Facebook. No? So, yes. Because some of my students are also my friends in Facebook, but ako na silang ginalimpyuhan ako mga Facebook friends, wala na, ipang delete na ako kung mga, or wala ko ga-accept na og mga estudyante nga friends sa Facebook. But nayo ba, yes, I can really notice nga di sige raglaag kung ingon nga di maka-internet pero maka-post sa Facebook, no? So that's why there is a question mark nung di man makasubmit na pero maka-post kung asa na siya naglaag, maka-post kung asa siya nag-adto, di ba? So although I will, because there's a policy or there's a strict rule in terms of, I will not have a strict rule in terms of deadline, but I will really set deadline in terms of submission of your requirements, unlike in the previous semester na nagtapok dugay ko mahuman og check kay dito na mag-submit sa final term. December naga-submit ang kasagara. So I hope for this semester, although because I will give you enough time to comply with or to finish all your requirements, I'll give you enough time. But for you to gusto mo grado yun at the end of the semester, so you really need to submit on time. Okay, it's all kamurot niya po yung malawta na, di ba? Nawa karon gipangutana ta mo pila inyo hang grado, isa pa. Nga naman, di ba mag-submit og requirements? Kung sa may i-record sa ministra kung di mag-submit og requirements, di ba? Itugay man. And, in uploading your grades, dapat mag-submit niya na or mag-upload mo sa inyong grado, dapat mausay na siya. It is because lisod kayo mag-upload nga tinagsa. Sa lugar yung buot pasabot. Every day, kung kanus alang mo ganahan mag-submit, makumpleto ang inyong requirements, ayaw din may mag-upload niya, tag-adload, tagsa-tagsa, tingi-tingi, di ba? So, inana siya. I hope you will also understand the side of your teacher nga kung gusto man galig grado, kay dagan mo pa may estudyante nga pangay grado. Kanya, kaya ang uban kayo ko man nakasubmit, di ba? So, inana siya. Ngayon grado kay scholar daw. Scholar sa, ano sa to? Na siya scholarship, nagkakinahanglan, grado as a proof na ga-eskwela pa siya. Ay na. Yan na pa may kulang ng mga requirements. Di mahatag ang Japon kay insi nga grade, di ba? So, di Japon siya comply sa kung unsa manggaling ang iyahang scholarship kinahanglan i-comply. So inana siya. Now, in our Google Classroom, okay, I will give you an example no, of your any one of you nakatry na kaysa pa wala nakatry ang Google Classroom last semester. Tanan siguro ta nakatry, di ba? Tanan niyo subject na may Google Classroom.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very
Yes,
good.
sir.
So every time that you will submit, because based on the tanan man halos sa naroon man tulo nagprinted based dito sa gihatag sa nga data sa ako sa sa class list. Okay? So katong tulo ako ano lang to silang i-convince nga mag kaning Google Classroom gyapon. Okay? Para wa ni printed kay hago kay na printed mo dugay pa maabot, okay? Dugay pa kita mabalik sa amo mo ni nakalisod sa printed. Anyways, don't worry because I will not be strict nga dapat encoded yun no. Ang inyong once you submit inyong answers, inyo lang ibutang, i-write sa paper, piece of paper as long as limpyo lang pud siya. Dayon inyong picturean gamit ang inyong smartphone. Then kato siyang picture mo rin yung i-upload dito sa Google Classroom. Inana siya ka dali or easy. Okay? Kaya di man dito na laptop, di man tanan na computer, na access. Okay? So, katurang pong kuan. Tarungon po ninyo nga, namugoy uban, based sa akong experience, ang papel, pag picture niya, layo bitaw kayo. Layo kayo. So, saan po na ako pagkabasa sa iyang answers kung layo kayo, dapat imo pong itunong ang papel, sakto-sakto po di mo pag-picture nga mabasa siya. Unahon nga, ang magbasa, makabasa siya, makasabot sa imuang sinulat. Kaya kung layo kayo, i-zoom pa lugar na ko. Zoom kayo. Kung i-zoom na, grabe na din ka-blur. Di ba? So, inana. Parang ano mo ba, nga kani ba nga agi, makasabot na ba si Sir Ayan ani? Okay, kung agi ni tinuhak sa manok, for sure, di kita magkasinabot na. Sa may akong graduhan. Di ba? So, inana siya. So, every time, anyways, naraman mo yung tulo ka, may, tawagan ni, class standing, tapos major output na yun. Mara na yung submit. Okay? So, inana siya for the entire, then, for this, since this is ASEAN subject, we will have invited speakers coming from Thailand. They are my friends. I met them in Thailand as well as in India. So they will be speaking. I already invited them, and they will be speaking in our class. So I hope that when that time, I'm just ironing it out kung kano sa gyud ang schedule. There are a series of lectures that these international speakers will discuss, will introduce to you their countries. Okay. So nanatay isa, duha sila ka Thai. They are students of political science in Chulalongkorn University. So they will be speaking in our class week after next. So they will introduce what is Thailand, okay? What is amazing Thailand. So we are looking forward for that, and then inana siya. Of course, every time that we have speakers, international speakers, I hope that you will prepare questions. Okay, I would really appreciate students that will ask questions to our speakers, and then, but of course, you will ask your questions right after the presentation. Okay, inana siya. And then, isa pa, just be mindful every natay lecture, just be mindful of your microphone so that dili mo maka-disturb sa speaker. Parehato kagay na sa tong timbang-timbang og 1/4. So, basi nagbantay to og tindahan. So, tanawon po din yung ulo nagbantay mo tindahan dara or nagunsa mo, i-mute ang inyong microphone. That's why at the start of the session, I told you to go to a quiet place na cluster sa quiet nga lugar nga dili mo ma-disturb para maka-concentrate mo kay talag sa ragi ta mag-synchronous session. Okay. Do not worry, we will just schedule a synchronous session. Pag dili kita mag-synchronous, of course, asynchronous, you are expected to read the module which I will upload in our Google Classroom and answer the activities. And once you're already done, then you can submit the activities prior to the deadline para kada, okay? Dili nga mag-submit ka dito na sa kinalasan. Okay? Question. Clarification, reaction, violent reaction, or are there topics nga di inyo ganahan katong gi-present kagina, or there are gray parts sa topics nga ako ang gi-present? Yes. We'll start. By the way, just additional, every session, synchronous session, this will be recorded. Okay? Kani karon, ako aning gi-record, then I will upload it in my YouTube account. Then I will post it in our Facebook so that those students who did not able to join in our synchronous session, they have time to review the recording para makita nilang ay mao din ni ang i-discuss, mao din nilang i-discuss karon. Kaya may, of course, we cannot anticipate nga natay 100% attendance every synchronous session. Kaya tanawang uban o gabantay og bata, di ba? So dili man gyud nato ma-anticipate nga tanan maka-appeal sa synchronous session. So I will just record it, then post it in Facebook, no, YouTube, and the link will be posted in our Facebook page so that you can review anytime you want the lectures and recordings of our synchronous session. Okay? Question? Kung naapay pangutana? Yes, Louis, you are recognized. You can unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, nalang ko
Yes, good
istorya
afternoon.
ba nga?
Mm.
Duha man good mo teacher namo sa ASEAN, sir, si Sir Carl Karen, tapos ikaw, sir. Dayon nag-adto ko sa
Mo
iya
ba?
niya. Yes, sir. Niya na si Sir Ching kay ihatag na lang daw mis sa imuha. Ningon si Sir Carl pod nga dala nilang daw mi sa imuha.
Kanos, nag-meet na mo sa iya ha?
Wala pa, sir, ni ako lang nag-adto sa iya, sir.
Ang anong kabalo mong kang is teacher, ipod mo siya.
Nag-add siya sa mo ang Google Classroom, sir, og sa app. Duha
Ah,
man
okay.
namong. Yes, sir.
Pero nag-ingon naman ka si Sir Ching sa mo, sa ako ama under.
Yes, sir.
Ah, okay. So ako, sa ako amo. Wala man po siya nag-inform sa ako ang kuan nga ma-change or ikuha sa ako aning section. Because my request was all as much as possible I want subjects nga sa majors mo na nga kamutanan under gyapon sa kuha ni nga subject.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
clear? Thank you. Yes, you're welcome. Yes, Angie, you have a question? Yes.
Ay, kuan sir, regarding sa mga dili kasulod daw sir or dili ka attend og Google Meet. Okay ra ba daw?
Oh yeah, that's why I informed you kanina that every synchronous session is recorded. Okay? So that kung di sila maka-join sa synchronous session kaya walay load or kuan maglisod. Okay? So i-record na ko siya para makita gyapon nila. Then it's up to them kung tan-awon nila kung saan nila i-review ang recording. And para na gyapon sila chance.
Thank you sir.
You're welcome. What else? Unsa pa mga pangutana? But Every time natay synchronous session, dili man gud sa tanan higayon ta magka-synchronous, no? So I hope na maka-join, maka-join mo. Although not required siya, but highly encouraged siya para ma-meet po mo, maka-join mo sa lecture, and then maka-communicate ta each other. Okay? Just like in a normal classroom setting. But of course, I cannot expect na tanan na or maka-appeal gyud tanan, no? Okay, di man tanan maka-afford or maka-connect sa internet, inana. But of course, all your questions, they are very much welcome. Just post it in our Facebook page. Okay? Member na mo tanan dito, no? So, dito tanan yung mga pangutana na kung na may mga dili masabtan dito sa reading assignment sa module. So, just post it in our Facebook page. And then, by the way, just a reminder, be mindful of the time. Okay? Kung mag-ask mo sa inyong mga instructor, inyong mga teacher, always remember that there's an office hours. Okay? And that is 8 to 5. Okay? So, beyond office hours, so do not expect that i-kuan mo right away. Okay? Because that's already family time naman. So, if you have queries, question, just you want your instructor to answer it right away, post it or raise it in office time. Okay? 8 to 5. 8 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. Okay? Sa pa na yung question? Wala na? Kay basig mahurot na inyong load. Sige. Turn on your camera for picture taking, pang attendance. Kana, yung mga anak, pang apil na nag-post dira. Papilog ko nangatambok naman lagi mo. So, unang nagagmay pa man kay mo. So, napabayaan mo sa, kusina. Wala na ilakaw-lakaw, no? Okay. Sure mo, wala na yung question?
Wala na, sir.
Kung naman galing, wala na. Kung naman galing, i-post. Klaro to? Klaro akong discuss ngayon na.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kasi first time nander sa quadribi. Wala. First time nander. Wala na. Nander naman sa quadrant. Okay. Smile. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Smile kay karon pa ta nagkita. Gimingaw ko sa inyo ang kasabaan. Atro pa. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. So, I will just post our next synchronous session, most probably Friday yapon next week. Okay. So that I'll give you an introductory lecture of our subject. Then a week after, I will schedule the first international lecture series coming from Thailand. Okay? So keep safe, everyone. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye, sir.
Bye,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Bye, sir.
Then, dating sa lang isa. Anong kulay yung puti? Ano yung may bulak-bulak? Hindi ko kaya mag-behave pa. Gider bitaw ko na mag-behave sa kalong. Ikan mo kaya ko na. Babaan, hindi ko umrok na.
Babaan gid ka pa. Hindi ginapugan lang. Yes, mana kami. Naka-attendance pa ko.
Although pildi sa atayin, pero damo ginagambal na.
Lah, nagdako lagi ng ganun plong.
Puti, laki mo.
Bebe,
Brad,
lah, gahay pa gido. Ga-push up ka na. Oo. Eh, kisa.
kapag ako nang video ko. So don't, huwag dapat sa ako may magbikil-bikil.